Hello, and welcome to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the injury market's top program for doctors, lawyers, and insurers who want to gain greater insight on how to improve patient recovery results and deliver better services in the U.S. injury market. Please welcome your host, Dr. Jeffrey Allen Kronk.
Okay, welcome, doctors. What I want to talk about today and what I get asked about a lot today, asked a lot about is how do I actually set up an appointment, or what's the script to set up an appointment to get a meeting with a medical doctor or get a meeting with an attorney. And I think that's one of the easiest things that there is to do, but I know a lot of doctors struggle with it because it comes up as a question. So I want to address it in today's short podcast. So I want to first set up, like, where are you coming from? So I'm going to tell you right now where I'm coming from. If I drop down into an area and I want to set up a practice, I'm going to set up an injury practice. And I know that injuries are the number one cause of chronic pain. So obviously I'm probably going to have a chronic pain practice or a pain practice as well. So the more that I understand injury, the more that I understand every single condition that the person has, because it's impossible to misalign a spine, which is the problem that causes a lot of patients a lot of different physical problems. And by removing what is called a subluxation or spinal instability, you can seriously improve their health. So I know that. I know that I'm the top doctor in my market. I know that I'm one of the only doctors in the market that knows there's only 3 ways you can injure a spine. There's excessive motion, disc herniation, and fracture, or a combination of all 3, or a combination of the 2. But I know how to assess injuries. I know how to assess injuries as well or better than anybody else in my market. Now, I know that patients should not be going to doctors that don't know how to do this. I know that there's a severe chronicity rate. 50% of the people who have a spinal injury are never going to fully recover. If it's my family member, I want to get them to one of the best doctors that there is. I know that's me. I know that's the clinic. I know that I'm hoping that's you that's listening, right? So I'm excellent at getting results. I'm excellent at communicating what the patient has. I'm excellent at giving the patient an understanding, an idea of what they need for their future. Spinal maintenance or spinal hygiene is a part of healthcare. It's a part of, no different than dentistry, no different than exercise, no different than good nutrition. Good spinal health is good for the person. So I know that. I know exactly where I am, and that's my attitude going into it. Now, let's say that I want to so now I'm starting to create my injury practice. I'm starting to create, I want to start to get to be known in my market. Well, it's really, really easy. I just come in, hey, I'm Dr. Kronk. So let's say I'm calling an attorney or an attorney office. Remember, a lot of offices have screeners today. Right. So, just like you have a screener in your office, these offices have screeners. So they're screening calls. And so you kind of have to get to the idea that it's okay. What are you going to say to the person? Now, what I've always said is you want to lead with that which you want. So what do you want from this relationship? A medical doctor's relationship, what do you want? I know what I want. I want a reciprocating referral relationship. I want to know exactly what they do so that if a person has a medical condition or something that I need assistance with, that I can send them to. So let's say it's an orthopedic center. That's a huge one for me. What do I want? Well, I want to be able to send patients over to them. I want them to be able to do an exam. I want them to be able to validate any of the findings that I'm coming up with. If I'm struggling or the patient seems to be struggling in any way and I feel like I need some support of, say, an orthopedist, I want to have that orthopedist with me. Right? But I want them to understand that I'm going to send them over. There's only 3 injuries. There's excessive motion, disc herniation, and fracture. And the majority of cases I'm going to be sending them over have excessive motion and disc herniation, or one or the other, or both. Right? And I know these things cause all kinds of things. They cause facet syndromes. They cause spinal instabilities. They cause ligament laxity. They cause sprains. These injuries cause these things. Right? It can be in the craniocervical junction. It can be in the cervical spine. It can be in the lumbar spine. So I know that. And I know that there are times when I might need help. So in order to get a medical doctor to actually, take a call with me, I'm simply going to call them up and say, look, I do a lot of injury work. I have a big chiropractic center, and I'm looking to refer patients to your office. I'd like to have a talk, a chat, whatever you're going to do. It's a Zoom call. You're going to have a visit. You want to have a lunch, whatever it is that you want to do. I would like to see if I can't set up a time with the doctor to do this. Now, you have to come from the attitude. You have to come from the attitude of the fact that they need a place to send their patients to. They are good doctors. If they're a good doctor, they're going to want to know who I am and what I'm all about. Because I know things that they don't know. I do things that they don't do. I specialize in things that they absolutely do not do. So that's why I want them to take a meeting with me. And I'm not going to waste their time. They're not going to waste my time. But I do want to know if they're a match for referrals. So I want to lead with, I want to start sending patients over to your clinic, but I need to make sure that your doctor can handle the patient. So doctor, it's no weird thing. Chiropractic has got all kinds of different little subspecialties. So let's say that, you were going to send a person over, or a person was you're sending a person over and they're going into a chiropractor and they don't realize that the chiropractor is a 100% total nutritionist. Doesn't even do spinal adjusting, just is nutrition. Now, I'm not saying that that's bad, but I am saying that if you were referring a person out to somebody for a service and you just lump it into, well, they're a chiropractor and they're like all chiropractors, they do things that all chiropractors do. That's not the case. Same with medical doctors. Medical doctors will have something that they specialize in. You want to find out what that is, but you also want to find out that they can handle the referrals that you're going to make to them. Now, you're going to lead with referrals. I want to start sending you referrals. If I'm talking with an attorney, hey, my name's Kronk. My name's Dr. Kronk. I have Kronk Chiropractic. I do a lot of injury work, and I'm looking for new attorneys to send our patients to when they're injured. What I'd like to do is set up a call. I want to make sure that the attorney can represent the cases that we're going to send to them, because then we'll start sending them cases. Now, so am I going to get the call? Yes, I'm going to get the call, right? I'm going to get the meeting. Who doesn't want more business? So you lead with, I want to send you business. I want to do business with you. I want to make you I want to provide people that you're going to provide services to. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to lead with. So you lead with what you think the person wants. Right? And it's not what you think they want. You know they want this, right? You know attorneys want more business. If I could send an attorney an extra 20 cases a month, would that attorney be my best friend? Absolutely. Now, some of you are going, oh my gosh, I would never have 20 cases a month. You're not thinking big enough, right? You're not thinking big enough. See, if you're thinking small, I only have one case every 6 months that I could send to somebody, that's thinking small, right? That's the past. What's the future? So I'm thinking, you remember, when you're out building these relationships, you're building your future. You're not building your past, you're building your future. This is the potential of what can be in the future. So if you're thinking from the past to build your future, get out of the past. Get to present and get to the future of what you want to build. Start seeing that future. Start building that future. Don't build the past. And don't go off of the past. So that's a nice way of saying, look, if you're kind of small, so what? So what? Don't think with that. Oh my gosh, so I don't have any business. What would they want to do business with me? You're already lost. You're already done. You're already out of the game. Right? That's like the football, the boxer that goes in and goes, oh, he's too big. He's this or that. There's no way in hell I can beat him. Don't get in the ring then. Okay, so most of the time what I find is when people don't want to get in the ring, it's because they're not confident with their services. They're not confident with what they have to offer the market. In the Smart Injury Doctors program, that's what I offer doctors. That's what we offer doctors, to be able to go, okay, here's the simplicity of being unique, being this thing that you can be in the market that nobody else is. And it's pretty simple. So what I want to do right now is I want to use an example. So I do interviews, I do podcasts, I do a lot of different things. And I want to take Chris Effenmu with Ohio Pain and Rehabilitation. These guys are top of the line spine clinic. And this is what I want you to listen to what he has to say. One, is there anybody in the spinal ligament injury market, in his market? Now, he's been on the staff of a hospital. He's been in a multidisciplinary clinic. He's been around for a long time. They do great work comp work, and they do great injury work at their center. And this is what he says when I ask him just a simple question of, is there anybody in the ligament market, spinal ligament injury market? And then also what he says about what happens when he goes out and takes simple information out to medical doctors. Just listen to this. You know, there's this whole idea of personal injury market, but then if you go spinal ligament injury market, like, what's your experience been as far as who's in the market? I mean, you know how I say, hey, ask a doctor, how do you determine the severity and location of a simple spinal ligament injury and see what happens? Like, you're out there now, you've been out there for a while. Is there really anybody in this market?
Not even close.
And how cool is that to be able to go out and go, hey, you're unique?
You want to hear something really cool?
Yeah.
Oh, so I had dinner with those people from that urgent care.
Yeah.
Did I tell you this?
No, you told me you had. Go ahead.
Yeah, we had dinner. It went fantastic. As a matter of fact, she sent me 3 patients already, and I'm looking at her email. She sent an email to all her providers, NPs and PAs, and it said, "Sorry, my throat's a little bit.
No, it's okay.
I got so much drainage." It says, "Hello, group. I'm sending this email to introduce blah 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 blah. He has a large multidisciplinary practice. We have been also referring patients to him. We would like to set up a conference call where we can get them all on the phone so we can talk about services to send BWC and MVAs to Chris."
Now, how easy is it to go to an attorney, in your own experience, how easy has it been to go to an attorney and go, okay, here's something unique that we have, and talk to attorneys?
Well, like I told you, Jeff, I mean, we talked to attorneys, and then we even got invited to their group to do some continuing education for them on spinal ligament injuries, and it was fantastic.
Right.
Pre-lit and litigation attorney, so it was fantastic.
So it's really not that hard to, if you have something unique to offer the market, it's really easy. It's easy to go in and get a medical doctor to take your call or to schedule a visit with you. It's very easy to get a attorney to schedule a call and take your call with you. But you kind of got to, I guess what I'm going to end with is you have to come from, where are you coming from? See, when I'm training doctors, or basically if I myself am going to go out into the market, I'm coming from the fact that I'm the top person in that market. Like, who wouldn't want to know about my services? Injuries are the number one cause of chronic pain and disability in the market today. Spinal injuries are the number one cause of pain and disability in the market today. Everybody knows somebody that's suffering from an undiagnosed condition. The biggest condition they have that's undiagnosed is a spinal ligament condition. And I know how to diagnose that. I know how to minimize that condition. I know how to treat that patient. Who would not want to know about what it is that I do? If you're a surgeon, I'm going to be the best rehab facility that you could send your patients to. I'm also going to be the best pre-surgical chiropractor that you've ever worked with, because I'm going to show you where the areas of instability are so that you can alter or change or modify your surgical plan. If you're a neurologist, I'm the best rehabilitation specialist that you have. If you're a orthopedist, same thing. If you're an attorney, I know that there's only 3 injuries that the person can have. I'm one of the only doctors in the area that knows it. I know that excessive motion and disc herniation are the 2 findings that you have for ligament damage. I know there's only 2 tissues involved with the spine, bone and ligament, and that the ligament condition is the worst condition. I also know that the non-disc ligament injuries are the most problematic thing. They cause the spinal instability. They're probably the major source of pain and degeneration to the spine, and I know how to locate these things and what to do with them. I'm not the average chiropractor. I'm at the front of the bell curve. Why wouldn't I want people to know about what it is that I do? And why wouldn't they want to take my call? Do you not think if the top surgeon called an attorney's office and said, hey, I'd like to meet with you about sending patients out, they won't take your call? You think if the top surgeon in your area called another medical doctor and said, hey, I'd like to discuss my services, that medical doctor they wouldn't take the call? You have to position what are you coming at the market with, and what is your attitude about you and your own services? Those things are really, really important in positioning yourself. And if you don't feel you're in a position of strength in that area, you need to strengthen yourself. That's the whole reason why I have the Smart Injury Doctors program, is to get doctors to be able to position themselves and know they're in the top 10%. Some of them know that they're in the top 2% in the country for these conditions. And it makes it really easy to go out and market. So always in these podcasts, what I do is I just want to take a point, be short, sweet on it, give you something that hopefully will have some insight into maybe how you could improve your practice or your positioning in your own community. As always, doctors, I appreciate your time and your attention. If you have any questions or concerns or comments, please put them below. That's how I do future podcasts. If you have any questions about our Smart Injury Doctors program, call 800-940-6513 or visit us at the website at smartinjurydoctors.com. Doctors, thank you very much for your time and attention. I look forward to having you on the next podcast. Thank you.
You've been listening to the Smart Injury Doctors Podcast, the #1 audio production show for professionals in the U.S. injury market that want to deliver better injury services to the patients, clients, or insureds they serve. If you like what you heard today, please leave us a review and don't forget to join us on our next program.